Welcome back, everybody. All dear students, I am sure with every class that we are taking in the real mode must be energizing you, must be happifying you. There must be various events must be done by now in the classroom. I am sure participation of all of yours must be increasing and you must be able to see the value of what is the real meaning of happiness. Now we are in the module number 3. I welcome you once again. In this module number 3, we would be covering up developing the habits of excellence. We would be putting emphasis on the role of habits. Habits, if you see the word also, it has the word bits. And in the computer language, when we think of the word bits, it is the smallest component of the memory, or you can say the smallest place where you can store information. Based on the bits, then you can have kilobits, kilobytes, megabytes, gigabyte, terabytes. So you don't want any kind of a laptop without having a memory. You don't want any kind of online storage system if you don't know any information about how much the memory it has. So here is the importance of habits, that we have to build it bit by bit. Every bit counts. Every bit counts. It simply means that every step that you are going to take towards your happiness, you have to understand there is a memory also involved. There is a kind of a repetition. There's a kind of a recalling of those actions that you have done in the past is involved. So please expect in this module that we would be emphasizing on the habits, how to understand it better, how to understand where we are stuck, means why the bad habits are not releasing us. We think we are in the clutches of those bad habits, but it is a different game altogether if we understand how the habits work. So in this chapter, we would be moving in that direction. In this module, we would be having 4 points. You can say the subcomponents. One is how to develop the habits of integrity, proaction, passion, win-win. These are the four promising domains, promising areas where if we are able to fluently move into that, the success whose shadow is happiness in a normal sense will be at our feet, will be at our doorsteps. So, with this, hoping that you would be enjoying the classes more, I would give a small summary. Should I give them a small advertisement of my class with these four touching points? So, we have the first point is when we understand habits. Habits are essentially what we repeatedly do. It is what we do it mechanically, or you can say fluently, and we have done it dozens of time, tons of time. So whatever habit we are having, even in terms of how do we sit, how do we talk, how do we dress, how do we write, every handwriting is a consequence of your habit. Every way, every sentence that you speak, every reaction that you give to your friends in a situations, every book that you read, what kind of books you read, what kind of friends you make, actually is nothing but a consequence of your habit, and it is also reinforcing that. So when we think in terms of habits, excellence is not a destination, not an act, but a habit. Success is not a destination. When you are doing your best, it is not a destination, it is a process. And when we say a process, you have to ride on the back of your habit as if you are riding a tiger. What tiger you have tamed depends on how fast you can reach your destination, if you think in that language. So habit is that tiger. Habit, or wont as humorous and formal term, is a routine behavior that is repeated regularly and tends to occur subconsciously. New behaviors can become automatic through the process of habit formation. No matter whatever is your fear, no matter whatever is your area of concern, no matter whatever area you want to improve, in the beginning there is a fear. And when there is a fear, what actually it signifies to a neuroscientist or a psychologist is only one part, that it is the habit which is not in place with this person, because you are not able to face that situation smoothly. If it is not able to face a situation, how you are going to solve it? So understand, in that language, when we say the habit is the last stage that you will have it. But first of all, you will face a fear of doing something new. Even in the corona times, many people have learned many new things for the first time. I'm sure those of you who were foodies, so they must have realized one thing. Okay, those who were foodies, they know how to eat, but they don't know how to cook. So if they are not able to cook, they must have realized that cooking is a good skill that they have to learn it. To eat is very simple, but to cook has a different requirement altogether. So those habits needs to be inculcated. The foodie, once he goes in the kitchen, holds the knife, cuts a tomato, chops the vegetables, cooks on the gas, then he realizes, okay, what it takes to give a command that I want this, I want that, and what it takes to cook all that, what he wants, what she wants, is a all different game altogether. He must be able to appreciate his family members, his sister, his mother, his wife, whomsoever whom he orders frequently. So habit is a different kind of a game, because it has gone deeply into subconscious mind. So there are, we would be discussing all the four components that we are going to discuss through the model of a habit. We say 3 R's of habit change: reminder, routine, and reward. You have to build up the habit, so you have to understand that you have to have a trigger, that you have to have somebody to start with. So you have a reminder, reminds yourself frequently. Routine, make that reminder so that you keep on doing that action frequently. Once you keep on doing frequently, don't forget to give yourself a reward. When we say a reward, it is a kind of a recognition to your subconscious mind that you need to do it more. If you don't give a reward to somebody, actually you are saying, "Okay, I want to use you, but I don't want to appreciate what you have done." So this is the kind of a formula that we would be implementing in all of those situations when we discuss all the four components. The first one, we are going to say integrity. Integrity is the first thing that we need to develop to become a successful, to become an excellent human being. Integrating is a kind of a person whom you say who has integrity is an honor, but it is not so easy to develop integrity. Integrity has the word called as internal grit. If you see the word integrity, it has two words, internal and grit. This may not be a mentioned somewhere. This is my understanding of the word integrity. When we say integrity, somebody who has an internal grit. A difference between a coal and a diamond is only simple. They both have the carbon molecules, but somebody, if I say the diamond has tightly packed carbon molecules, but the coal has loosely packed carbon molecules. So in the diamond, the carbon molecules are tightly packed. Similarly, what are your values, what are your principles, how loose they are, how tight they are, how tightly packed they are inside you. That person is the person who has integrity like a diamond, having a strong internal grit, that he want to do something. He has his own values, which values are valued by the society, valued by the across the culture, and he is going to act based on his integrity. He is not going to lose his integrity for anything. But how to develop that, that's the question. So we would be going into details of how to develop this integrity. It is also known as, somebody want to understand in language of ethics, honesty, like this way. So the person of a man of integrity is like whatever he thinks, he says the same thing and does the same thing. It's a kind of a nice balance of self-respect and confidence you can give to yourself. Next one is proaction. Proaction, also known as being proactive. One is reactive, one is proactive. When somebody says I am proactive, he's a kind of a person who takes action in advance for something, a problem coming in the future. So he is going to take an action well in advance. So when we say how to take a pro action, how to develop this habit of being proactive, this is the area of concern for this module, that he is the person who is able to see next what's coming. He will be very affirmative in his action. He would be taking voluntarily entering into a kind of a situation because he can foresee something coming up. He's a kind of a person who is initiative. He takes initiatives. Nobody is going to tell him to do this or do that. He's the person who is going to take the first step by default. He is the person who will be having less of dependency. I am not saying he will be having full independency. No. Out of the two words, independent and dependent, these two are the false word. Independency 100% is impossible. Dependency 100% is also kind of a slavery. Best word is interdependence. But yes, you have to realize both of them, because this is a kind of a reality that we have to live in. So it is better to be independent to large extent than to be dependent large extent. So this can happen only if you are proactive. This kind of a person is a kind of having a eagle eye view, because he's a person who is flowing high above the current situations and he can see what's coming. Number three is passion. Nothing moves in this world without passion, without somebody's passion. Passion is a kind of inner intensity with which actions are done. So, how to be passionate, how to be moving with the full force, that would be the intent for this subpart. So, passion is defined as a strong inclination towards an activity that people like, that they find important, and in which they invest time and energy. People might say to you, follow your passion if you want to succeed. When they say follow your passion, they are saying please give your 100% into your acts. Don't give even 1 inch of looseness in your act. You want to succeed in research, passion is the key. You want to be a great father once you have a child. It is not an easy affair. I myself am a father and I know what it takes to be raising a child. No matter what good you are into your profession, what good you are into academics, but this is a new area altogether. Everybody have their own areas of improvement, or you can say first time when they are want to make a impact. So becoming a great father, becoming a great professional, becoming a great athlete requires this kind of input, we say passion. Purpose, passion and performance are related. We will discuss about how the types of passions are there, obsessive and harmonious, what differences are there. But we would also know through exercises and through various events, through various practical exercises in the classroom, where we would develop this kind of a passion, where you would be invited to take some initiatives. Opportunities will come to your table and you have to grab it. Once you have this habit of capturing the opportunities, then you would be able to realize how the successful people are always forthcoming. A question was asked to the richest man of the world, and he was asked how you became successful. He says, I am passionate. He said, but how do you decode the passion? How do we understand somebody's passionate? He says, I keep on jumping on all the opportunities. He said, but how do you decide which is the opportunity, which is not? He said, I don't decide that. Whichever comes to me, I just jump on that. And at which time I will realize which was successful, which was not successful. But I ensure if I see it to be an opportunity, I capture that. I at least jump on that tiger. And that is my initiative that I take. And I have to do it very fast. Even the Microsoft Bill Gates, when he was in the college time, I'm sure you must have read this story also. Okay, he was given few hours of computer lab timings for 1 year. It would be say around maybe 20 hours. So at that time, 20 hours of lab time, people were thinking why we would go to lab, because they were not able to see the use of any computers and all that in future. So hundreds of students were not even going to the lab. But this guy, Bill Gates, who had consumed his yearly targeted or yearly budget of 20 hours of lab time, he consumed in 1 week. And then he kept on asking all his friends, okay, please give me your lab hours, because you are not going to use it and it will go waste. So he has consumed almost hundreds of students of lab hours. So he went to many students, he said, you are not going to use it, I want to use it, please give me your passwords and all that, I'll go and use that. So it was his passion to be in this area, and without that he would not have been what he is right now. So we need to see how the habits can be developed, because you have to capture the opportunities. Fourth one, this is the amazing attitude that one should always have it. It's a win-win attitude. When one side benefits more than the other, that's a win-lose. To be the winner, it might look like a success for a while, but in long run, it breeds resentment and distrust. This was given by Stephen Covey in his famous book Seven Habits. And this attitude or this habit of having a win-win, this is a very deeper mindset. This is a deeper attitude that one should develop, that if you win, please understand somebody has lost it. So can you develop this kind of a mindset, that if you win, somebody else also wins along with you? And to be having a win-win does not mean to be nice. It is not a quick fix, it is not a kind of a one-stop solution. It is a long process, but it is requires patience, it requires insights, it's required your character, because your character will be the patient hearing. Just like in the courts, we have the judge who hears both the sides. Similarly, it is the character of a person who hears both the sides of a situation, loss and benefit, plus and minus. It is the character that listens. So it is a character based approach, but how to develop that, you should know the science behind that. This is what we are going to cover in this module. Then we would be having vital character traits, because we are going to understand this habit of a win-win. So we need to understand what it takes to be a win-win attitude, whether you should have an integrity, maturity is required, abundance mentality. People having a scarcity mentality means this thing, we have scarce resources. Idea of having an abundance mentality simply means that you are thinking world to be finishing off very fast, time is short, resources are less, only I will win, I don't have scope for others, how can all of us win together? This is the kind of a scarcity mentality. But any times who would be having a abundance mentality, he would be a different kind of a person altogether, and he is the person who would be entering into this mindset of win-win. So we should develop this habit. How? We would be having multiple activities in the classroom. And thank you and have a happy day once again. See you in the next module. Have a good day. Thank you so much.